Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this awesome 2021 Volkswagen ID4 Pro S. Volkswagen's newest electric vehicle. One awesome product. If you're in the market for an electric vehicle, this one's definitely well worth a look. Very nice shape. This actually is in pretty near new condition, a little under 500 miles. It was actually just traded in for a Tesla. That's where I purchased it from. Tesla only sells pre-owned Tesla, so all their off-brand vehicles, including EVs that aren't Teslas, they sell at auction. And of course, I'm kind of an electric car fan. I love Teslas. I'm very interested in electric vehicles. So as a used car manager, one of my jobs is to buy cars. So whenever I see EVs on the auction block, I really jump at the opportunity to get them for our store, because we do well with EVs, and also to satisfy my curiosity. I bought a Mustang Mach-E a few months ago. Had a chance to drive that, get acquainted with that. We sold it to some very happy customers, and now I'm happy to finally check out the ID4 so we can kind of discover this together. So this is a Pro S, so it's very nicely equipped with features. We have adaptive cruise control, blind spot warning, to name a few. Big navigation screen. So the ID4 is kind of like a crossover. It's about the same size as like a Volkswagen Tiguan, Toyota RAV4, or a Honda CR-V, or talking about popular EV vehicles, it's very similar in size to the Tesla Model Y, which we actually have a few of. In fact, we have about 10 Teslas in stock. So if you're interested in EVs, we always have a great selection of EVs in stock. So maybe if you want to compare the ID4 to the Model Y or Model 3, we have all these vehicles in stock available for test drive. So I'm a big Tesla fan. Just a disclaimer, I've been investing in Tesla stock, and of course as a used car manager, us having 10 used Teslas in stock, I like them, but we also do really well with them. And I think electric cars are the way of the future. I'm a career car guy. I've been in the car business since the 90s. My dad was in the car business since the 80s, and both of us, we talk about electric cars quite often. We're pretty convinced that it's just a matter of time before all vehicles end up going EV, for very good reason. Efficiency, safety, they drive a lot smoother, maintenance is a lot better, reliability. Going from thousands of moving parts to dozens, there's a lot less to go wrong with a battery electric vehicle. And some people might say, oh, it's expensive to replace the batteries if they go bad. Well, batteries are kind of like an engine in a car. They can go bad, but they're not really designed to go bad. The batteries in electric cars are designed to last the service life of the vehicle, just like an engine. But I can tell you, replacing battery packs can be $20,000, $30,000, but I hate to break it to you, replacing an engine in a premium luxury vehicle can be $20,000 or $30,000 too. So it costs just as much money to replace an engine as it is for a battery pack in most EVs. So, you know, that's some kind of fear-mongering people do about EVs, saying that, you know, all these scare tactics. But like I said, I'm pretty convinced that once more people get behind the wheels of the EV, once you drive this and go back to a gas car, it makes a gas car feel like a dinosaur. This is so much smoother, quieter. It just feels a lot superior than gas cars in so many ways. Obviously, gas cars do have their perks. You know, obviously, if you like the sound of a big V8 driving a manual transmission, there's no substitute for that. Obviously, you know, electric cars accelerate pretty well, but from a practical standpoint, I think it's almost a no-brainer. So I would say the ID4 is more of like a premium vehicle, price point, you know, new, and in the pre-owned market, you know, they're around $50,000. So price point wise, you'd be comparing this to more like, you know, BMW X4, Tesla Model Y, Mercedes-Benz GLC, or GLA, as far as price point goes. And the other thing too is that the ID4 versus the Tesla. Tesla, if you get in a Model 3 or Model Y, which are very similar, it's a very sparse interior. Some people like that, some people don't. But if you don't like, you know, that sparse interior, you want an electric vehicle, but you want something that's kind of a lot more similar to a gas car, you know, as far as buttons and functionality. Because with Tesla, there is a learning curve to switching to a Tesla. The majority of operating the vehicle, especially in the Y and 3, is in the big infotainment screen. This is just a lot more like having a conventional gas-powered vehicle. So if you're kind of scared about the learning curve, or you're not into all that tech and spaceshipness and sci-fi-ness of the Tesla, this is a lot more like a conventional vehicle. Like you know, driving this is similar to driving a Volkswagen Tiguan with some slight slight differences. So this is a rear-wheel drive version. They do have all-wheel drive models coming out. Obviously, they're more money. Fully charged, you have a range of about 250 miles. But electric cars, just like gas car, range can vary by outside temperature, how you drive. So I'd expect probably in the real world, probably more of like a 200-mile range on this vehicle. But you have the electric great charging network. You have Electrify America, which was brought to you by Volkswagen. So you can do fast charging. You can get almost a full charge in about 45 minutes at a fast charger. On 220 charging, at home charging, you can get a full charge in about 7 hours. So you set up 220 service in your house. So your house is like the gas station. You have a full charge the next day when you wake up. And I think for 200 miles of driving, that's going to satisfy most driving needs for most people. Great infotainment system. It's a little bit more user-friendly and similar to a conventional vehicle. You have a backup camera. You have heated seats. And they have some slight differences like cool feet, warm hands, warm feet, things like that. And then you can have you have smart climate, then you have a classic climate, kind of a little bit more like a conventional car. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. It will make some ambient noise just so it's so quiet. It's kind of here. I'll be quiet right now. Kind of hear that sci-fi sound. Well, I have it backing up, so it's kind of playing a sound because it's so quiet. So pedestrians will say, "Oh, a car is backing up," so people can get out of the way if they don't see you. You have a great backup camera, front and rear parking sensors. You have this toggle switch, or I guess you'd call it, I don't know, a toggle switch or some kind of switch to basically put it in drive, neutral, reverse, and then you press that button for park. You have a conventional speedometer right here. It gives you a range at 462 miles. The buttons to operate the windows and stuff like that, the mirrors. The trunk is very similar to what you'd have in a regular gas car. Memory seats, pretty normal seat controls. Really cool color combination. So the ID4 is actually a pretty sizable vehicle. Like I said, it's kind of, I would consider it along the lines of like a compact crossover. So yeah. So you have a pretty high up commanding view of the road, very spacious interior. I'm 6'2". I have plenty of space back here. So maybe if you're thinking about moonlighting as an Uber or Lyft driver, this would be a great vehicle to do it. Nice big glass roof panel. Unlike the Tesla's roof panels, they do provide some UV filtering, so 98% of the UV light can get filtered out, but there's no sunshade to close them. You can buy like manual shades to pop in place on the Teslas. But on the Volkswagen, you actually have a power sunshade that can close completely if you just want to completely cut off the light. And the nice thing is having this big roof panel kind of makes it feel brighter and happier in here. You have some USB, I think USB-C ports right there. And then also the interior is a little bit nicer. You have a little bit more, aluminum trim, leather and contrast stitching in the dashboard. It's definitely a little bit more less sparse than the Tesla interior, which is very, very void. Some people like that, some people don't. It's all about personal preference. Power rear liftgate. You have a ton of cargo space back here, cargo area cover, which you can remove. You have a cargo pass-through. Of course, you can fold down the seats. A little bit extra storage under here, a good place to store your charging cable. We have some great promotions going on right now. Complimentary delivery to pretty much anywhere in Washington and Oregon. We can put this in our car hauler. We can tow it to you. You can print up all the paperwork. So, with our mobile delivery service, this ID4 can be all yours without leaving your neighborhood. Kind of like buying a vehicle from, Carvana or Vroom, but instead of, buying a car on a website, you're dealing with a small business. You can talk to us on the phone. We can fine-tune the buying process to your wants and needs. We're not as rigid as some larger companies. And then here, it's kind of like a conventional vehicle. The electric motor, drive units, inverter and stuff is in there. And then you have access to the fluids and things like that. So yeah, pretty cool. I'd encourage you to come and take it for a drive. And like I said, we always have a great selection of EVs. We have Teslas and competing brand EVs as well. I mentioned Tesla a lot, but Tesla is, one of the #1 selling EV products right now. They're the company to beat. They're leaders in EV technology. I'm a big Tesla fan myself, but not everyone wants a Tesla. Not everyone's a big fan of Elon, so if you kind of fall into that crowd, this would be a great vehicle to consider if you want to switch to an EV, but you're not really too crazy about Teslas. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully see you soon, and have a wonderful day.